It's Bills week, Chiefs Kingdom. Let's forget about the Packers. Let's get out of there and let's look forward and how this team can succeed in the coming weeks. We appreciate you watching us here on our Tuesday live show. And like I said, it's Bills week, and I'm happy you joined us here on the Chiefs Report. I want you to get in the comments and type who you got for this weekend's game with Kansas City and Buffalo. If you got the Chiefs, you know what to do. Type those KCs. And if for some reason you hear you got the Bills, that's fine. You got to type BUF to make sure that I know who in here doesn't believe in the Chiefs. We got Ty Man the Buckeye. We got Tony Fuentes. We got Cole Kelleher. We got Paul Amos. We got Tony Fuentes saying, "Go Chiefs." Who you got? Let's get this party going here on our Tuesday live show. We're having a good time. We're talking Chiefs. And ultimately, we're just going to have some good times forgetting about the Packers game. Brian Gales, what's up, my guy? It's time to sit some players. It's time to do a lot more than that, my guy. Time in the Buckeye, Jeff Wilson in the comment section. Brian Gales, Tony Fuentes, all spamming those KCs. Get it going. Jeffrey Wright saying, "Pop." We love Pacheco. We love, even though he threw a punch. That was something. Tony Fuentes saying, "Go Chiefs." Combat Medic with the KC. Patrick Mills with the KC. We love to see it. That's a perfect way to start off this live show, to get us going hot and ultimately to make us feel good and have a good time. Now, I'll tell you what, though. If you want to go to this Chiefs versus Bills game, well, do I got the deal for you? Because if you go to Game Time and you use our code ChiefsChat, you're going to get $20 off your purchase. Here's the best thing. Game Time has tickets to not just sports. They got music. They got comedy. They got theater. They got pretty much every event in your area. And they know that you shouldn't have to worry about buying tickets. Well, guess what? Game Time is going to take the guesswork out of tickets with their best price guarantee. And they got live deals, they got zone deals, they got flash deals, they've got last-minute tickets at the best price guarantee. And you can even see their app, super user-friendly. You go right through it. And ultimately, it's the best app on the market if you want to go get your tickets, especially for last-minute ones. I get it all the time. In fact, got one last week, the night before a football game. Super easy. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code ChiefsChat for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHIEF. SCHAT for $20 off. Chiefs Chat, no spaces. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets at the lowest price guarantee. We love to see it. Who's going to the game? But I know what you should do. Shout out your city. Where are you watching? Are you in KC? Are you in Missouri? Are you across the country? Are you across the globe? Well, let us know. Where are you watching today's here? Because I want to know. I want to know. We got the Real Deal Detailing Shop is in there with the KC. Time in the Buckeye coming in from OH. Tony Fuentes from Dallas. Jerry Sullivan from South Carolina. Gregory and KC. Tony Fuentes saying Dow, Texas all day. Nanjapapa Shardamo. Wow, you're going to have to let me know how to say that. Nanjapa Chandra Mahoan. I hope I'm saying that, but even I'm not. You got Buffalo. Are you watching us from Buffalo? You got Buffalo? What's going on there? Combat Medic. NC, North Carolina. I think I got that one. And then Tony Fuentes coming in there. And then the staple, Paul Amos from Tonganoxie, Kansas. We love to see it. We love to see it. And then Godfrey Wilson from Tulsa. Lisa Marie Pinebrush. Let's go in New York. Wichita, Kansas. Ed Griffin in California. We love to see it. Well, I'll tell you what. We have the game coming up, and I got to know, how important is it to you? How important does this Bills game matter? Because I got to tell you, it's a pretty big deal. You come in here off a loss. You've lost 3 of your last 5. It's not looking good. How in the world can you bounce back? Tell you what, you get a win this weekend. How important is it? Ed Griffin from Valencia. We got Gilbert Shaw from Tularoa, California. What do we think? Scale of 1 to 10, how important is this Bills game to you? 1 being not important, 10 being the most important. Paul, 8. Jerry Sullivan saying it's a must win. Paul Amos saying it's an 8. Jerry Wright saying all the rest of these games are important. Win, where, chi-chi. Yeah, you're telling me. Time in the Buckeye with a 7. I like it. Time in, I like it. Time in. Chris Idle, Godfrey Wilson, Ed Griffin saying Buffalo 11. Crucial game. I know, man. Tony Fuentes with an 11. Chris Idle with an 8. Combat Medic with a 9. Cole Kelleher saying 10, a must win. And we got 11s coming in here, breaking the scales here with Tony Fuentes. I love to see it because this game is super, super important. I love it. 11, Tony Fuentes, all there. What do we think about it? 1 to 10, what is your confidence level? I know there's one guy who, let's just say he's very, very scared for this game because Well, he's been kind of a good luck charm. I got to be honest. We've lost 3 of the 4 primetime games. That's 3 of the losses right there. And Sam Brown, our producer, was not there for all 3 of those for the 3 primetime losses.
Am I the good luck charm? I'm not going to accept that responsibility. You guys can bestow that upon me if you wish. I'm glad to be back. I mean, we'll be together on Sunday here, Chiefs Bills. I think it's a must win, no doubt about it. And I think they're going to bounce back in the best way possible. Yeah, big win at Arrowhead.
I realized it last Sunday. You've only been here for 1 loss because the other 3 losses were primetime games.
It's not my fault. I don't determine the schedule, by the way. So it's fully based on, me having to get up early some days. But, I'll be here for Chiefs Bills. So I think mark it down as a Chiefs win. I think I'll bet on them to cover, too.
I'll tell you what. If we win out in every single game that you're here, playoffs, you have to be here. I don't care if it's primetime or not. I'll tell you what, though. I am going to be a lucky man this Sunday, win or loss, because I'm going to put some money with my Prize Picks entries. Prize Picks, it's super fun to play and easy to play. It's daily fantasy sports made easy, and the best part about it, it's a skill-based, real money game, and with basketball season here, it's perfect time to start your Prize Picks. This Sunday, you could pick a combo projection across the NBA and NFL, so you could pick more on, say, Travis Kelce touchdowns and Jason Tatum points. It's super simple. You pick 2 or more players, you pick more or less on their Prize Picks projected stats, and then you choose a flex or a power play. If you want to choose to make more money, make less money, maybe a little bit less risky, you can go and see. Here are my entries for this upcoming Sunday's game. We got Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to more on his passing yards at 266.5. I think this is going to be a passing game, so I also have Josh Allen on his more at 261.5. And then we like a good field goal more, and I think I'm going to put that down because the Chiefs' defense was going to make sure that Josh Allen does not get in the end zone, but it may be a bend, don't break mentality. I'm thinking 2 field goals at least for Tyler Bass, so I got the more on that. Again, Prize Picks is super fun, super easy, and if you go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use our code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. It's pretty cool, and we're going to put that in the chat for you right now if you want to go use it. It's super fun, super easy. Shout out to Prize Picks, man. It's daily fantasy sports made easy, and it's super, super, super fun to play. Okay, we've seen the buzz.
What's up, Tony?
Twitter, there you go. If you've seen the buzz, if you see me on Twitter, if you follow me on Twitter, you know that there was a certain free agent that the Chiefs were kind of labeled as a possibility to sign. So let's talk about it. Should the Chiefs sign Zach Ertz? Type S for sign, type P for pass. What are we thinking? That's going to be a part of our first segment here on live. So what do you think? S for sign, P for pass for Zach Ertz. We got Tony Fuentes spamming the S in there. There we go. Buffalo going to run over some Chiefs. All right, good free. All right, I don't know about that. Don Japapa saying S. John Satterfield saying P for pass. Ed Griffin with S. Paul Amos with S for sign. Yeah, Tony says, I don't see why not. Well, I'm going to tell you why exactly I think the Chiefs should sign him here in just a minute. Michael Waite says sign. Key to win, improve the run, D, and then Bolton and Connor down the box. Yeah, Shamari Connor, I think he may actually get some starts too, so there's a lot of Connors. Paul Amos, S. Lisa Feinberg saying S. Goated James saying S. And then we got an A from Corey Webster. Is that a secret sign, Corey? He said S. He misclicked. A is right next to X. S. That's always what Sam does. He types AAM instead of SAM for Sam. That gets them all messed up. James Ramos, S. Ty Man the Buckeye, S. Man, this is kind of surprising. I mean, I expected it to be definitely a sign plus, but this is a little more than I thought. I like it. Well, I'll tell you what. That's the first segment on our live. We've talked about the Bills game. We're going to do a little preview, a little playoff picture with that. Talk about that for the second segment. But you all know the third segment if you've been here. We know it. We love it. We want to talk some Chiefs with you. And the way to do that, it's super simple for you. Use hashtag Chiefs. Go to the comments, hashtag Chiefs. Put in your question, your comment, your statement. Whatever you want to put in there, put in. We can also put you on the show. You're going to get your little picture right up there. You're going to get your question right here. And I'm going to be right here, right where you see me, answering it for you on today's live. And it'll be on a future video as well, so you can be a part of it. Make sure you use hashtag Chiefs right before your question. Or if you want to guarantee yourself to get on today's show, you can skip the line and jump right in front with a super chat. And I know we usually do some lime juice shots, but I figured I'd up the ante. We're getting here late in the season, and, well, the lime juice shots just haven't been working, so we're going to try something else. We're going to do any super chat today. You're getting a personalized Chiefs chat. Me and Sam going to chant your name. Plus, we have Sam, which means You do a super chat, you're getting on the screen in 60 seconds, and it's super awesome. If you use hashtag Chiefs, it's all right. You're going to get in the queue. Yeah, don't even press it. That's what I thought. Can't even do it. We're going to tell you everything about that. Use hashtag Chiefs to get in there. We see Tony getting in there with his question. We can have those popping through the entirety. We got 2 segments before we go to the mailbag, so maybe one of these sparks a question from you. Well, you can put it in there at any point in time. Sam will keep track of them. We can be able to put them up there at any point. But here's what's coming up. Like I said, we're going to sign Zach Ertz. Well, we're going to talk about that. We got a preview versus the Bills plus a playoff picture. Talk about it all right here on the Chiefs Report. And then again, mailbag, hashtag Chiefs or super chat. We got ramen noodle. I love that, by the way. I love the way you spelt it, too. Another question in there. We both like that. If you want to get in there like ramen noodle and Tony Fuentes, use hashtag Chiefs. You can pop in to get in the queue and hopefully get a chance to get on the show. Your damn face. All right. We're going to get going here. We're going to do sign Zach Ertz with this first statement. I'm going to tell you exactly why I think it might be a good idea to sign the free agent tight end. That all coming up right here on the Chiefs Report. Is it time to sign Zach Ertz? Well, that's what we're going to talk about here on the Chiefs Report here by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Jace Andrews, and I really appreciate you joining us here on this Tuesday. I know it takes time out of your day, and I'm glad you're here to spend it with us because we got some juicy rumors. So the reason why we're even talking about this is because Zach Ertz said that he wants to land with a contender. Well, Adam Schefter, the guy who likes to drop bombs, says he could include Kansas City, Baltimore, and Buffalo. Funny enough, those are all going to be AFC. Also, just going to say it, Kansas City beats Buffalo this Sunday. Buffalo's no longer a contender. Take them out. It's just Kansas City and Baltimore. Just going to put that in there. But either way, that puts them as a team to watch for this upcoming game. As could it be Zach Ertz time coming on to the Chiefs? Let's start this out with a question, why don't we? Because we're going to get into the analytics. We're going to get into how this could work. We're going to get into maybe if it even is worth it. But for now, I have to ask you the question. Should the Chiefs sign Zach Ertz? If they should, then I want you to get in the comments and type S for sign. If you think he's washed, there's no reason to have him, type P for pass. Let me know in the comments section. This is going to be the pinned comment because I'm pretty curious about what Chiefs Kingdom thinks. Let's dive right into it here with Zach Ertz and his stats in a career. Right at 709 receptions, 7,434 yards. Average hits around 10, 46 touchdowns. He's had a pretty impressive career, mostly before his time with the Cardinals, with the Eagles. He's a guy who's really been a solid tight end position for, honestly, the past 4 years. It's been really incredible to see what he can do. Even before that, he's been absolutely amazing. Now, I do want to say this, though. Those stats are all great, but over the past 2 years, he has kind of declined. Only 74 receptions and 17 games played. So not exactly the greatest in terms of the last 2 years. Now, at this point, I do think he's still a viable option at tight end. Obviously, though, we have to stop ourselves because are we forgetting that the Chiefs have the tight end GOAT, Travis Kelce? Well, who do we have behind him, though? Because this is obviously not going to be a situation where Zach Ertz is going to sign to the Chiefs and become the starter. That's out of the picture. So you go to the back end. You have Noah Gray and Blake Bell. Jody Forston, obviously on IR. He's not going to play the rest of the season. So you only got 2 tight ends. Blake Bell has been on and off. Noah Gray has been a guy that they like. I do think that Zach Ertz could be a good backup to Travis Kelce, though. Overall, he has the ability to kind of come in at any point. And ultimately, there's this. I think with Noah Gray, there's still that kind of barrier to be broken of, oh, we got to worry about him. Like when you put him on the field, it's not like he's going to get 2-man looking at him. People aren't going to be really drawn to him right away. That's why he scored the touchdown this past Sunday against the Packers. Now, even if Zach Ertz isn't great, there is one thing that he is good at. Taking away defenders from other people. And he could do exactly that. I do want to stop, though, because the Chiefs like Noah Gray. They know what they have in him. And they've seen him throughout the season multiple times. Now, his stats, well, for a backup tight end, I'm going to say it. They're pretty good. 22 receptions, almost 250 yards, 11.2 in the average, and a couple touchdowns. One of those touchdowns, like I mentioned, had come in Sunday's game. It was a little 2-yard reception versus the Packers. They like to use him in a couple different combinations, but the 2 tight end set, Andy Reid has certainly liked that along with Matt Nagy as they come up and combine together for the play calling. I don't exactly know what it would mean for Gray if Ertz is signed. I do know that Gray has been a starter on the Chiefs, though, because if you remember back all the way to week 1, well, guess what? He was the one who stepped in for Mr. Kelsey when he had that injury with that hyperextension on the knee. So, guess what? Now is it going to be time where, oh yeah, I know we started you, but we're going to sign Zach Ertz? That doesn't exactly make sense, so we'll have to see about that. Now, I do have this to say, because I told you at the beginning of the show, I'm going to tell you why I think it could be a good idea, and that's coming up. I think there is a way that the Chiefs could get Zach Ertz, and I think it would help them to increase their chances for the number 1 seed in the AFC. Now, why would I say that? We'll find that out in just a minute, but if you want to go to a Chiefs game to hopefully watch Noah Gray, hopefully watch Travis Kelce, maybe Zach Ertz, well, then get your tickets at Game Time. Game Time is the super easy way to get tickets to sports, music, comedy, even theater events in your area, because Game Time, well, they're going to give you the best price guarantee as they give you the peace of mind when buying tickets. They've got things like last-minute ticket deals, they've got flash deals, they've got zone deals, and ultimately they have easy-to-find and buy tickets for every kind of event in your area. So if you're looking to go to, say, a Chiefs game, if you're looking to go to, I know basketball season's starting to set up, if you're in Kansas City, you want to go to, maybe head up to Manhattan, go to a Wildcat basketball game, you can go watch them. You're going to watch the Jayhawks, you can also use Game Time. They've got everything right there for you. In fact, I used it just this past weekend to head to the Big 12 championship game, and it was super easy. It literally took me 2 minutes to get my tickets. Plus, Game Time is obsessed with finding ways to help you save on money. So with those zone deals that I mentioned, you can pick a section, and then Game Time will pick the seats to get you an average of 18% of savings. So do me a favor, take the guesswork out of buying tickets, download the Game Time app, create an account, and redeem this code right there. It is, right here, Chiefs Chat, for $20 off, CHIEFSCHAT. Again, terms apply. Use this code for $20 off. That's going to give you the best price guarantee. All right, here's why I think that it's a possibility that Zach Ertz could sign with Kansas City and why it could help them be the number 1 seed in the AFC. First, you don't want them to slip to a contender. I think that's the ultimate reason you have to look at here because, as mentioned in that Adam Schefter tweet, if you look at exactly who are the people that could take Zach Ertz, I don't really want the Ravens taking him. I don't like that. I want to make sure that overall we have a different way to have that. I don't want him to slip to a contender. Now, the reason I don't want the Ravens, well, they don't have a tight end right now. They lost their main tight end. Now, they do have Isaiah Likely, who, I'm going to say it, or excuse me, Isaac Likely, not Isaiah. Isaac Likely. It's Isaiah Likely. And either way, here's the thing. Without Mark Andrews, it really decreases them. Isaiah Likely hasn't really done much over the past couple weeks. Without Mark Andrews, that hurts. You add Zach Ertz to that roster, well, guess what? That would take out a lot of potential packages that they can now put in. The Ravens are the big worry here. They are the ones that I don't really like. They're the ones who I think, not the Dolphins. I mean, I know that they're right now the number 1 seed in the AFC, but here's the thing. Without the Dolphins, you've beat them. With the Ravens, you haven't beat them yet. So maybe it's time to go in there and see that, guess what? Take away Zach Ertz from the Ravens. I do have to ask this question now, because I mentioned it a little bit in the top of the show, but is Zach Ertz washed? Could he be the guy that, you're not really exactly thinking about what exactly is going on with him in terms of how he plays? Well, maybe that's the whole thing. Now, if you think he is washed, then I want you to type Y for yes. If you think he is not washed, then I want you to type N for no. Let me know what you think about Mr. Zach Ertz. I don't think he's that good. I think ultimately he's more a name than anything else. It's not going to be one of those if you sign him and expect him to be like this amazing guy. Like I said, it's not that I think he's good. It's not that I think he's going to improve this team, so to say. But I don't want the Ravens to get him. I don't want that. That would not help out. It would not really provide anything at all. Now, it's tough because the Ravens, obviously, they're not in a position to get him in the waiver wire. It could be the Chiefs before him. So the Chiefs have a slot to take him away from the Ravens. Will they do that, though? Well, that's the question we're waiting to see. I expect him to sign with a contender, though, in the next week. And if he signs with the Chiefs, well, we'll have it covered. And if he doesn't, well, we'll tell you about that as well. All right, I want to give a little bit of a slap on the back, little clap of hands for Mr. Patrick Mahomes as he was announced today as the official Walter Payton Man of the Year award nominee for Patrick Mahomes. Now, if you don't know what the Walter Payton means, it's more or less not necessarily just about your play on the field, but also your ability to, be a man in the community, be able to provide support, and ultimately just be a good human being is like the big thing. And the big thing with the Walter Payton Award is now that he is announced as the nominee, he's going to get a little sticker on his helmet, and if he wins, well, then you get a little Walter Payton patch on your jersey for the entirety of your career. Dak Prescott has a couple other guys, so I think it'd be really cool. I know Patrick has done so much for the community of Kansas City, and he really deserves it. So let's do a little bit of a congratulations to Patrick Mahomes. This is one that I think he deserves the award. Man, he has done so much for the communities, and he continues to just put his foot not only in Kansas City, but everywhere across Missouri, across Kansas, just helping out as many ways as he can. So do me a favor, type 15 in the comments below and let me see our thanks, our gratitude for Mr. Patrick Mahomes, not just on the football field, but all his actions off it as well. We appreciate you watching here on the Chiefs Report, and I'm telling you, Zach Ertz could be coming one way or another. We will find out, though, in the near future, but for now, that's all we got. We appreciate you. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV. Hit that subscribe button, as we would really appreciate it. All right, Chiefs Kingdom, we'll see you next time. Peace out. Let's type 15. Gosh. Why were we talking about that earlier then? Well, no. Like, why were they talking about the waivers earlier? That's what Chase brought up. Oh. Well, there we go. Anyways, Paul Amos, Tony Fuentes, typing 15. Gregory, Tony, Paul. We got the 15s rolling in the chat. We love it. Type those 15s, baby. We got 116 people in here. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Sam's probably 15 of those people, though. You got like 15 accounts watching us, Sam?
No, I'm very busy back here.
Watching us, of course.
Oh, yeah. I've got 15 different accounts loaded up on my computer while running the show.
Is Tony Fuentes Sam? Tony Fuentes Sam collab? We got Ty Man the Buckeye typing 15. We got Gabriel typing 15. We got 15s rolling in. We love it. We love it. Michael Waite typing 15. Ed Griffin typing 15. Ty Man, Tony, Terry. This is great. DJ with the 15. Terry Singleton. Ty Man the Buckeye. Man, the support for Patrick Mahomes. Paul Amos. It's a good time to have Patrick. Terrence with the 15. We like it, Terrence. We love it. We love it. Tony. Gary. Yeah, well, it's good to see you, man. Ty Man the Buckeye. Ty Man is everywhere. You are everywhere, man. You're here. You're in PD Stream. You're all over the place, man. The OHIO, man. James Miles. Shannon, 15. Paul Amos, 15. Let's do it. Let's love it. All right, well, I mentioned if you want to get on the show, well, you can do that by using hashtag Chiefs. We have a couple of questions as there has been a little bit, but overall, we need some more. We want to have some fun times. And listen, Sam's lonely. All he has to do is read questions this entire time.
Right now, I can guarantee that we're going to get Tony Fuentes on there. We're going to get Ramen Noodle on there. We're going to get James Ramos on there. We're going to get Cole Keller on there as well. And Terry Singleton also got his question in. So that's 5 questions off the top. Send them in. Hashtag Chiefs. Or
Chiefs.
Skip the quote with the super chat.
No. He said it. I thought I was going to get
You're telling them not to super chat? Why would you say that?
No. I'm not telling them to super chat. I want you to super chat. I'm telling you to skip the Q at the que. One of these times I'm going to slip up and say que. And I'm not going to like it. I thought I was going to get out the show without you saying it. Gosh dang it. Kyle McCord is done. Yeah. Brian Gale's the 15. Let's do it. Let's do it, man. Hashtag Chiefs if you want to get in there. There's Ed Griffin. There you go. There you go, Ed. We like it. We like it. We can talk about that. Tony with another question. We appreciate you all. We're going to go through a little bit of a preview here with the Bills and Chiefs fighting it out this week, along with the playoff picture. So we'll talk about that and kind of ultimately look through the whole thing of how exactly the Chiefs can make sure they get that one spot. That's coming up. If you have questions during the show, put them in the comments using hashtag Chiefs. and you could still be able to get on here. But for now, let's get into this with the preview of the Bills game, along with a little bit of look at this playoff picture. The biggest non-playoff game in the Mahomes era. That's what this game against the Bills is being labeled as, and I got to tell you, it may actually be that. So, the Chiefs, the Bills, the biggest reason this is a big game, well, you lost this past week against the Packers, and now your chance of that 1 seed could be severely impacted with a loss in Arrowhead this Sunday against Josh Allen and the Bills. So, we need the good vibes. We need the good luck. We need everything going the Chiefs' way, and I need your help. If you want the Chiefs to beat the Bills on Sunday, then like that video. Don't be the jinx. I can see who likes it. I can see who can, and it's a proven fact. We get 500 likes on this video, just like in previews past. Guess what? We are guaranteed to win. So hit that like button. We'd surely appreciate it, and Patrick Mahomes would really appreciate it as well. The number 1 seed is still possible. That's what we're talking about here on the Chiefs Sport by Chat Sports. I appreciate you watching again here. I'm Jace Andrews, and I'm telling you, the Chiefs did lose a big game to the Packers, but their number 1 seed dream, was it dead? Let's talk about it, because it's not exactly. Let's first look at the playoff picture with the number 1 seed switching to the Miami Dolphins. Now, and funny enough, the Bengals helped us out on Monday Night Football just a little bit ago as they beat the Jaguars and bounced them to the 4th spot. Obviously, Kansas City gets the tiebreaker as they beat the Jaguars. The 2 teams ahead, though, Baltimore and Miami. All 4 teams right there, they're done with their byes. In fact, everyone up until 7, done with their byes. So, from here on out, it's going to be a big test of winning each week and trying to go in, because the Dolphins slip up, you have the tiebreaker over them. Problem is, you need the Dolphins and the Ravens to slip up, which means you can't slip up. That being said, the Chiefs are not out of it yet. It is not going to be, okay, well, that's it. We're not getting the 1 seed. No, not yet. The Ravens have a tough schedule. The Dolphins, well, we'll talk about their schedule and see what we think of that in just a minute. But overall, the Chiefs are not out of it. But this game is very important. I think this game is really one of the most impactful games that we've had in a long time in the regular season. So much so that Nick Wright actually labeled it as the most important regular season game of the Patrick Mahomes era. He said this on First Things First. The game against the Bills is the biggest regular season game of the Mahomes era. If they win, they end the Bills and end up with the 1 seed. If they lose, all of a sudden, the mystique will be broken and the Arrowhead Invitational will officially be canceled. Strong words from Nick Wright, and I think I agree with him. How important is this game to you? Is it a 1 where it's not that important? Jace, you're blowing this way out of proportion. So is Nick Wright. That's just stupid. It's just a game here. They can lose. This will be fine. It's okay. 10. You need to win this game. This is a huge game. You have to bounce the Bills out of here. You have to propel yourself toward that 1 seed. How important is it to you? A scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not important, 10 being the most important. Get in the comments, give me a number, and let me know with this Sunday's game coming up. The Chiefs' remaining schedule looks like this. You've got the Bills. You've got the Patriots, the Raiders, the Bengals, and the Chargers. You had that Patriots game on Monday night. That was flexed, which I'm not going to say the Chiefs were going to lose, because that's not what we talk here. But the primetime games the Chiefs have played in, well, they've lost 3 of them. So when you've only played 4 and you've lost 3, that's not exactly good. You have the Patriots. You got the Raiders on Christmas. The Bengals. And they look pretty good against the freaking Jaguars. Jake Browning was a little scary, I'm not going to lie. At the same time, the Jaguars' defense is nowhere near the Chiefs' defense. Overall, that schedule is more scary now than it was last week because of the whole Jake Browning situation and the fact that you lost to the Packers. Because the whole thing that we kind of talked about last time was you can only lose 1 of those games. You lost that already. You lost to the Packers. That loss is now gone. You can't just lose another. That would hurt more than you could think. In fact, hurting being basically you're probably not going to get a 1 seed, and there's a chance that you might not even get your own home playoff game. So, for the Chiefs, it's time to lock in. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got to lock in, be ready to go, and understand that every game is somewhat of a playoff atmosphere in terms of trying to get that 1 seed. Obviously, this team, in theory, should make the playoffs. The Broncos are surging, though, so you never know for sure. But it's time to lock in and I'll tell you what, it's also time to lock in your entries with Prize Picks for this upcoming Sunday's game. Because I'm telling you what, I've got my Prize Picks rolling, and I want you to join me. You can either fade me, you can put your entries in as well. But I'll tell you what, Prize Picks is a skill-based, real money daily fantasy sports game. And here's the best part. With basketball season here, you can do combo projections across the NBA and NFL. It's super easy to play. As you see, you choose 2 or more players. You pick more or less on their Prize Picks projections, and then you choose a flex or a power play to see what you want. You can check it out at prizepicks.com/CLNS and use our code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. PrizePicks also offers a reboot policy so that even if one of my players gets injured or your players, guess what? They're going to stay in play and you can get rebooted. Now, my picks this upcoming. Guess what? I've got Patrick Mahomes on the more. I think he's going to go more. I think this is going to be a passing game. I've got Josh Allen on the more at 261.5. This is definitely going to be a passing game, so I got more on both the passers. And then I think this Chiefs defense will be a bend, not break, so I'm going the more on the field goal made by Tyler Bass as well. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what makes PrizePicks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Once again, go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use our code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. Shout out PrizePicks. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. Let's look at that Ravens remaining schedule because I think it's important to talk about. The bye is gone, and here are their last 5 games. You have the Rams. That one going to be in Baltimore. And then the 3 games that could decide the Ravens season and the Chiefs' ability to get the #1 seed. At Jacksonville on Sunday Night Football. At San Francisco on Monday Night Football. The Dolphins and their offense on Week 17. And then I think it's also a little important. We'll see how it works out. Obviously, Pickett injured at the time being, but that Week 18 game versus the Steelers could also be a big one for them as well, considering how the Steelers finished out their season. Now, that's one to watch, but here's the problem. You also have to worry about the Dolphins now because they're ahead of you. And now they have Titans on Monday Night Football. In theory, that's probably a win. They have the Jets, who they clapped last time they played, and now they get him at home. And then in Week 16, they play the Cowboys, the Ravens, the Bills to finish out their season. Those 3 are the tough ones. These next 2 games, probably going to be wins. After that, well, we'll have to see what exactly happens. Christmas Eve against the Cowboys, that's going to be a big game for Chiefs fans to watch before we play the Raiders that next day on Christmas. Big game right there. I don't like the Dolphins' schedule. First of all, they have 4 of the final 5 games at home. That usually doesn't exactly plan well if you want a team to lose for them to be at home. Now, on top of which, there's this. The Dolphins have a severely overrated defense, but their offense is pretty dang good. I have to say that. There's a problem with that because the offense is going to really boat race probably Tennessee and the Jets. And then if they can beat that Ravens defense, well, that could be a potential win as well. The Cowboys defense has been good, but their offense has also been good. There's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts here with the Dolphins schedule. It's one I don't like. And the reason I don't like it is because you don't control your own destiny. You threw that away on Sunday. If you beat the Packers, you controlled it. Now you don't. And that really hurts because you want that Arrowhead Invitational. You want to be #1. You want to have the first round bye. It's all up in the air right now, and you don't have it, and that's going to be a lot of things to keep in mind as we head toward the end of this season. Who you got this upcoming game? The Chiefs, the Bills. What do we think? We got the Chiefs? I know we do. Type KC. Flood the comments with KC. I want to see it. Now, for some reason, you got the Bills. Listen, we don't discriminate, but go make sure you type BUF down in the comment section, as I got to see who doesn't believe in the Chiefs so that after the Chiefs win this Sunday, I can come back and have my receipts. We also have a live watch party for the Chiefs versus Bills, so make sure you join us, subscribe, and turn on that bell. You're going to get notified 30 minutes before we go live. We'll be live at 2:30 Central Time. It's going to be a good time, so make sure you join us. We're going to have a bunch of fun super chat giveaways. We're going to have a bunch of fun things to be doing, talking about the Chiefs, storylines, updates, live, play-by-play. Me and Sam going to be having fun. It's going to be an ultimate good time, and you're going to want to join us if you want to watch the games with a couple of other Chiefs fans. Let's look at the keys to victory for this Sunday game, and the first one is going to be containing Josh Allen. Because, well, he is their entire offense, and I mean that literally. It's him, and that's it, because he can really make a game or he can break a game. Now, passing yards, over 3,000, passing touchdowns, 24. But the interceptions, that's where he can break a game. Because if he starts getting the turnover bug, boy, oh boy, it's a long day for the Bills. He's got fumble problems. He's got interception problems. But he also can run the rock. 340 on the ground, 9 touchdowns. It's going to be tough to contain him. We'll see what this defensive line has, especially with the linebacker room kind of hurting as well. So now you have to look at how can we do this? You stop Josh Allen. He is the key to that Buffalo Bills offense. If you can stop him, there's no way the Bills score more than 17 or 20. That's the thing. He is the only guy that I think can go out there and physically make the Bills win. Everybody else, Stephon Diggs then can be covered by L'Jarius Sneed. And then you got Gabe Davis. He'll probably take it over by Trent McDuffie. I trust the guys in the secondary for them. The second key to victory, score early. Now, why do I say that? Well, that hasn't happened the past 2 weeks. In fact, that's been a premium for the past 2 weeks as you've been getting down. You had the Raiders. You had the Packers. Guess what? You scored 3 points in the first quarter. Come on. Meanwhile, the other team scored 7. You went into halftime of the Packers game, 14-6. You went into halftime of the Raiders, tied up. You kind of came back. You had 14 points in the second quarter. But you have to be able to come in here and score early and make sure you're able to go in and just control the offense and hopefully make sure that you just put some points on the board, put pressure on the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. Which leads me to my next key to victory, control the game. You have to go in there and make this feel like it's your game. I think this is important because I want to go back to the now 4 losses the Chiefs have had. You have the Lions, you have the Broncos, you have the Packers, and you have, of course, that other one. So you're chasing 3 of 4 losses here. It's really tough to look at these, but the primetime games, you have, of course, that first game of the year against the Lions. You're chasing points. Not good. You have the Packers. Again, you are chasing points. You have the Eagles. Again, you're chasing points. The entire time on those 3 primetime games, you are just chasing them from behind. You can't have that happen with the Bills. Because if you get in a boat race, I have a hard time believing in this offense considering what I've seen. The final one, use the crowd. You are in Arrowhead. You have the crowd behind you. Let it fuel you. Let it motivate you. Arrowhead will be loud. Use it to your advantage. Listen, this Bills-Chiefs game, it's somewhat of a rivalry because of the way these teams have played in the playoffs. Now, I know everybody likes to claim, oh, we're the Chiefs' rival, oh, we're the Chiefs' rival. The only one that's really close is the Raiders, even though they lose all the time. But besides them, it's the Bills. You've played them so many times in the playoffs. And Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, well, they've had some interesting games against each other. Both respect each other, but there's been some, obviously, crazy games between the two. I want you to predict the score for the Chiefs versus the Bills. Get that in the comment section. I want to see who has it for the upcoming game this Sunday. I think it's going to be a fun game, and hopefully it'll be a Chiefs win. But go in there and let me know what your score prediction is for this Chiefs versus Bills game. So here's what I am going to go with here on this upcoming score. I've got the Kansas City Chiefs coming out on top 27-21. That's what I think, and I think you should agree with me because, listen, we got the Chiefs. I think they sneak out. I'm not going to say it's a big one, but I'm definitely not going to see the Bills scoring more than 21 at Arrowhead with the defense that's been playing so incredibly well. We appreciate you watching. As always, Chiefs Kingdom. Peace out. Predict the score, Chiefs Kingdom. What do we got? What do we got, Chiefs Kingdom? Bunch of scores. Ed Griffin going in there with 28-26. Tony, stop spamming the chat. KC 28, Buffalo 23. DJ with 35-20 Chiefs. Tony Fuentes, KC 28, Buffalo 23. What's your score prediction, Chiefs Kingdom? Time in the Buckeyes saying 31-17, KC. I love it. I love it. Sam, you got a score?
I'm going to go 30-16.
So the over?
Obviously. Wait, what is the over-under? What was
I think
it?
it was 44 is what we had. So
we had 47.5. Okay, so then
you're
31.
right at it.
I'm going to go 30-18 then.
Yeah.
Not 30-16.
Are you Vegas? You were right on the nose there.
Sorry, let's not sound so surprised. I think they're expecting it to be a little bit closer than I think I will. I think Kansas City can't afford to keep this slide going. They can win by a field goal at home against this Bills team that loves to turn the ball over.
Josh Allen
And
loves to.
I think their defense is slightly, maybe just a little bit more. They're a good defense. I don't think they're one of the best defenses in the league. They've lost some key guys, Matt Milano, Tre'Davious White, that are hard to recover.
Yeah, there's a lot of names. I think Jordan Poyer's a little overrated in my opinion, but that's just me. Paul Amos, Chiefs 30, Bills 20. I like that. You found a buffalo emoji? That's sick. All right, Dakota Wolf. It's 24-6 Bills, man. What in the world? What in the world? Parker Gamer says 54-2, 54-52 final OT. Buddy, there is no update on Brian Cook. Supposedly he hasn't had an ankle break, but then Andy Reid wouldn't confirm it yesterday. So speak to Big Red, man. I don't know what's going on there. He all reports we have say that he has not broken his ankle, but Andy Reid did not want to confirm or deny that his ankle was turned in the wrong way. So I'm hoping the Chiefs will come out on top, though. That's the hope, and appreciate the question, man. But telling you, Parker got in there with a little question right there. It's a little sneak peek. We got some good questions. I mean, we got the chat filling up. I mean, how much we got, Sammy? Probably like 10 now-ish? 6, 7?
I can tell you everybody who I guarantee will be on the show today that's already sent in a question. Ramen Noodle, Tony Fuentes, James Ramos, Dale Webb Jr., our good friend, is on the show. Bill Chase, Eric Wallen's going to be on, Ed Griffin, Cole Keller, and Terry Singleton. All getting their questions on the show.
9.
If you super chat, though, the best part is you jump all 9 of those people, and you're just going to be the first question up. So
yeah,
you still got some time.
If you do that, you're automatically going to be seen by everybody who clicks on the video later in the week. Pretty cool if you ask me. Plus, if you super chat, we're doing a personalized Chiefs chat for you. So, telling you, it's a pretty good deal if you ask me. Pretty good deal. Pretty good deal. Hashtag Chiefs. We're going to actually get a little bit of a last second here and get in any questions. If you want to pop those in there, we'll answer them here on this upcoming mailbag. Or, any super chats, obviously, you're bumped to the front of the line. We appreciate all you sticking with us, man. It's been a fun live show, and well, I think this is always the best part because we end it with a kind of a talking segment. We just get to talk to each other. That's how it is, and that's how we're going to finish it. We got questions. You can keep them coming while we do this, as if we have time. If we keep going with these questions, and guess what? We can do that during the show. Sam's a pretty good producer, if you ask me, so he can pop those up there at any point in time, and hopefully can still get in the queue. But for now, I think we got enough questions, so without further ado, you can keep putting hashtag Chiefs or Super Chat. We'll pop you in there at any point. But let's get going with the questions we have now here on this Chiefs Mailbag. Chiefs Kingdom, we got a mailbag for you today on the Chiefs Report. My name is Jace Andrews, and I appreciate you spending this time with us. As man, it's times like these where I just enjoy talking to Chiefs Kingdom, and that's what we get to do today. It's my favorite part of these mailbags, just talking Chiefs and talking with you. Let's go to our first question from Ramen Noodle. Love the name, by the way. When is Ross coming back? So, Justin Ross, technically there is 2 Rosses. John Ross was cut last week. Justin Ross, which I believe the one you're talking about, he actually had his charges dropped this past Monday now, a couple weeks back, and he is not off the commissioner's exempt list yet. So he cannot return until he is off there. As of now, he's not on practices. He can't play in games, anything like that. We don't have an exact date on if he will come back at all, really, to be honest. He can come back as soon as he is removed from that commissioner's exempt list. As of right now, though, that is really not even talked about. Hopefully, though, he can come back. He would probably slot right back into his spot in the wide receiver core, given the, let's say, questionable play from a couple of different players. Second question coming in here from Cole Kelher, saying, is Pacheco going to be suspended? Because if so, that makes the Chiefs running back room dangerously thin. He will not. He did throw a punch, but there's been no talk of suspension. Honestly, it was just frustration at that time. And if you think back to the timing of that punch, Pacheco looked back and saw the Packers defense running the opposite way, which would have been a touchdown, and the game would have been over, and he just got pissed and threw a punch. It wasn't really like a malicious punch, like, yeah, he threw it, but I don't think it's what he gets suspended for, and there has been no talk of that at all from what I'm hearing. So he should be okay, but like you said, if he did get suspended, it'd be thin because Jerick McKinnon, well, he's been out the past 2 weeks. Hopefully he'll be back this week. with Pacheco and obviously CEH. Next question coming from Terry Singleton. Do you think that Patrick Mahomes has lost confidence in his receivers? A little bit. I'm not going to say that I think he's lost all confidence in them, but there's definitely a divide right now between him and his wideouts. Why do I say that? Because there's just times where he looks like he doesn't want to throw the ball. He just kind of holds it for longer than I think he should. And that's partly because he's trying to make a play. It's also partly because, well, I don't know if he trusts everybody to catch the ball. There's been drops. There's been problems with, obviously, the pass interference call now. So that adds another layer to it. There's just a lot going on with that. I don't think he's lost confidence, but I definitely think he's a little more, let's say, safe with the ball in terms of trying to throw it to different receivers. We're going to another question here from Billy Bob Joe saying, what 2024 free agent should the Chiefs go after? I like this question because I think it opens up the discussion of, first of all, what position they should go after, and ultimately who I believe could work. We've talked about a lot of them over the past couple of weeks. We had a free agent video going back last week, so you can go check that out if you want to. But for now, I'm going to talk about two wide receivers that I think we should look at. The first one being T. Higgins. He's going to cost a lot more money because, honestly, his market value right now, it sits around the $25 to $30 million range. That's not much, that's a lot when your cap space is only at $31 million coming up. Obviously, there's cut candidates like MVS. Maybe you're not going to sign back Chris Jones because obviously he would take up a lot of that money as well. But he would be a cool option. Then I actually had two wide receivers after this. You have Marquise Brown and Curtis Samuel. Both guys are having really exceptional years, and both could honestly go in here and fill a really good spot on this wide receiver core because they're both fast. They're both gadget guys. I think both of them would fit, and they're both pretty cheap. Marquise Brown would run you about $8 to $10 million. And then right now, I looked at the value earlier today. Curtis Samuel, they're saying his market value is at $5 million per year. That's a steal for a guy that every now and then has a 100-yard game and 2 touchdowns. I like what I've seen from Curtis Samuel. Tell you what, like this video if you want the Chiefs to beat the Bills. We got the game coming up here on Sunday. I want you to like this video to help me out and help the Chiefs out and help this Chiefs team propel to victory because it's a big game. You need that victory to help try and secure that number 1 seed in the AFC. Plus, on top of it, if you win, you're probably bouncing the Bills out of the playoffs for good. That's a pretty nice thing to do. So hit that like button. We'd surely appreciate it. Tony Fuentes coming in here with a question saying, how can the Chiefs get better ready to go against a very good Bills team? I don't know if there's a way to prepare for the Bills because they're so different than a lot of teams, specifically because of Josh Allen. Now, with that being said, you have it at Arrowhead. It's going to be a home game. So you got to use that crowd to your advantage. You got to feel them in your chest, feel them in your heart, and go out there and play for them. But Josh Allen, there's a guy, he has turnover problems, but he can flip a game on its head. You got Gabe Davis, you got Stephon Diggs. I'm not really worried about the running game. James Cook hasn't been exactly what he was advertised to be in the preseason, and now kind of seeing the true form of him now. I think that's not really a big of a worry, but defense, a little overrated as well. Prepare to be better is just score. You got to go out there and score and try and hopefully make this Bills offense not do too much against the defense. Next question coming in here from DJ saying, sign a wide receiver or draft another wide receiver in 2044 in the offseason. Here's what I like. Do both. Do both. Wide receiver is the position that I think you're most thin at right now. And if you look at the free agents for the Chiefs, Chris Jones, so you're losing him, but George Karlaftis has been amazing this year. In fact, has more sacks than Chris Jones. You have Drew Tranquill, who you'd like to sign back. You have Willie Gay, who you'd like to sign back. But you're going to have Nick Bolton. That linebacker room is not going to exactly just fall off a cliff. So I think you maybe spend a little money on a wide receiver in free agency. I like Curtis Samuel, like I mentioned, because he's cheap, so you could get him and potentially a defensive option as well. And then go out there in the second round and draft somebody. Who's the best wide receiver that the Chiefs have had all year? It's been Rashee Rice. You know when you drafted him? The second round. Plus, this wide receiver draft class is super, super thick. You got Rome Odunze. You got Adonai Mitchell. You got Xavier Worthy. There's a lot of guys that either you pick late in the first round or potentially make a little bit of a trade, go early in the second round with them. There's a lot of guys I like that I think could really fit well with this team. Next question here, James Ramos. It's clear that we will still need a number 1 wide receiver. Who would you like to see from free agency in 2024 to be signed to the Chiefs? Kind of like I mentioned, Marquise Brown, T. Higgins, along with potentially Curtis Samuel. Those are the three that I'm probably looking at the most. Everybody else is kind of just either too expensive or really doesn't fit the Chiefs' play style. But I'll tell you what, you want to go see a new wide receiver that the Chiefs will have either next year, or go see the Chiefs and hopefully watch them go back-to-back here in the Super Bowl. You can get your tickets at Game Time. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you, as you shouldn't have to worry about buying tickets in. Guess what? Game Time allows you to not have to worry by giving you the peace of mind with their best price guarantee. They have last-minute tickets deals, flash deals, zone deals. Plus, it's easy to find and buy your tickets. In fact, you can do it in less than a couple clicks. You go in, you look through the app, you can see exactly clearly user-friendly. They tell you the cheapest ticket. They tell you where exactly you're going to be sitting. It's super easy, super fun, and ultimately, the best part about it, it's the best ticketing app by far. Listen, there's a lot of stress in this ticket buying experience world now. But with Game Time, no stress at all. Go in there, 2 clicks, boom, you got your tickets. Plus, if you use our code ChiefsChat, you're going to get $20 off your first purchase. $20 off, man. That's super, super good. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code ChiefsChat for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. Redeem code CHIEFSCHAT for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, the lowest price, guaranteed. Ed Griffin, please go over the linebacker situation for the Bills game. I like this question. It's a topic that I actually thought about bringing up here, but here's kind of what we're looking at as of right now. You have the first one being Drew Tranquill. He is in concussion protocol. If I had to bet, I doubt we see him there on this upcoming week. You have Nick Bolton, who has been practicing. We'll have to see if he's fully ready to go or if he's a game-time decision, what exactly happens there. Now, Willie Gay should be healthy, and then you got Leo Chenal and Jack Cochran. Both those guys were the ones who filled in this past Sunday against the Packers. Chenal moved to middle linebacker, and Jack Cochran went to that right outside. So how exactly does now we rotate this? Well, you hope to have Nick Bolton back because then you have your starting linebacker squad. The original starters for the Chiefs were Willie Gay, you have Nick Bolton, and Leo Chenal. Nick Bolton has been out, so you've had to have Drew Tranquill here. Now Drew Tranquill is out, so you got to hopefully put in Nick Bolton right there at that middle linebacker position, and hopefully you should be fine. You'll be thin in terms of depth, but you should have your starting linebackers all ready to go. Bill Chase comes in with this question, saying, hey, Jace, have you checked out my very first mock draft for the 2024 season? Because I tweeted it to you to X. Let me know if you think. Bill, I have not seen it, but I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to go look for that after today's show. I'm starting to get a mock draft season. I got to be honest. Like, we're 5 games away here, and not that I want to worry about the draft because I want to see the Super Bowl happen first, but I think it's fun to just do mock drafts, especially now the college football season is pretty much, into bowl season now. Regular season's done. We kind of see who the top draft prospects are. You see people starting to sit out from these bowl games. It'd be super fun to kind of see the mock draft. So I'll go check it out and tell you right after this video. Tell you what, though. If you want the Chiefs, or rather, will the Chiefs make the Super Bowl? I got to know. Because I told you, mock drafts are fun, but I don't want to worry about it until the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl. But can they even do it? Well, let me know. Type Y for yes if the Chiefs can make the Super Bowl. If you think they can't, well, then type in for no. I think this could be a split decision here. If the Chiefs could make it, or maybe if the Chiefs could not make it. So we will talk about that as it's a tough one, but let me know in the comment section why for yes and for no. Kool-Aid coming with this question, saying, why are we not letting Rashee Rice run deep? It's a good question. The average yardage of passes down the field to Rashee Rice this past week, 1. That was the average of passing down the field to Rashee Rice. That's how much yards. Mostly because he had screen pass galore. There was 3 screen passes I can think of off the top of my head. I don't get it. Let the guy run on the field. He has an insane vertical and wasn't in the Hail Mary attempt. His speed is something to be reckoned with, and yet you never send him downfield. I'm questioning that decision as well, my guy. I really don't understand what exactly what Andy's thinking. At this point, you can't give the rookie excuse. Man, you're almost done with the season. He's not a rookie anymore. Like, he is still a rookie in terms of label. He's been here for a while. Let him go. Let him go. Take the reins off. DJ with another question saying, if you don't bring back Chris Jones, who can the Chiefs sign or draft that can replace Jones? So there's a couple options that I think you could go with. So honestly, I don't even think you need to replace him, though. You like Karlaftis. And anybody who is going to be the size of Chris Jones, the presence that Chris Jones has, it's going to cost you a good portion, and your cap space is limited. And I think it's not worth it to sign a defensive lineman when you've already seen that guys like Mike Dana, George Karlaftis, Derek Nottie, they're really picking up the pace. Now, I know that takes out a presence of Chris Jones, but hopefully the Chiefs get him back. But honestly, if he leaves, I don't think it's worth it to sign him, or sign another guy or waste the draft pick. I think you have to see what this defensive line could do without him, given how amazing they have been this year. The only thing they've been somewhat bad at is their run defense, but that's just kind of something that you just got to work on in the offseason. That's not anything that Chris Jones is going to hurt or help there. Next question coming in from Eric Watland saying, I think the Chiefs look like the number 1 seed. With all of the quarterbacks are out on the good teams, and Baltimore doesn't do well in postseason. I agree. I think ultimately it still looks like the Chiefs can be the number 1 seed. Miami has their quarterback, but their defense, oh my gosh, it can be bad sometimes. The Ravens are good. They don't have Mark Andrews, and we've known their playoff history. The Jaguars now, obviously Trevor Lawrence with a high ankle sprain. He should be good to go by the playoffs, but still, you have the leverage on them. Steelers and Pickett, they're not even good. I'm going to say you draft one, you sign one, and you maybe make a trade in the draft for one. Maybe you're trading like a fifth rounder for somebody. That could potentially be it. I'm going to say 3, though. I'm going to say you draft one, you sign one, and you trade for one. All 3. Let's go with that. So I'm going to go 3 there. You're cutting MVS, though. I'm pretty certain about that. Next question here from Richard P. saying, how many free agents will we have at the end of the season? So I'm going to rattle off some names here. If I miss anybody, forgive me, but Leo Chenal is one of them. You have Willie Gay Jr., you got Drew Tranquill, you got Chris Jones. Those are a lot on the defensive side. MVS is signed under contract. Kadarius Toney is signed under contract. Defensively, that's where it gets kind of questionable. Nick Bolton is still on contract, but overall, I think there is around, let's say, 35. Sam, you got the answer?
The exact number, according to Spotrac right now, 24 free agents total.
There you go.
3 of them are exclusive rights free agents, which basically means they'll be back.
Correct.
And then 3 players, I believe, are restricted free agents. Malik Herring, Jody Fortson, who's on IR, and Prince Tega Wanago.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. 24 with the shout out from Sam to get the exact number. But the big names, like I said, Chris Jones is going to be the big one, along with Drew Tranquill. He had that 1-year deal. I'd like to see him back as well. Willie Gay Jr., your linebacker room could be a little thin, depending on who you sign back. But 24, shout out to Sam with the extra help there. All right, a few minutes at the end of the video. We appreciate you. I know this was somewhat of a longer one, but, man, I just like talking Chiefs with y'all. I got to be honest. I get into my Chiefs talking mode, and, well, I could do this all day. But, unfortunately, I got to stop here. We appreciate y'all watching. And if you're a real one and have made it to the end of the video, you know what to do. Type real one. We appreciate you, Chiefs Kingdom. Peace out. Let's go! Everybody spam Sam in the chat. What a legendary move. I knew it was pretty high, but, man, he got the number pretty quick, man. He knew what he was doing. That's a real producer. That's a real producer.
Not my first rodeo.
That's a new one. Gabriel with the real one. Tony with the real one. Timon with the real one. DJ. How good is Pat? And he's good. He's good. Sam is a real one, says DJ. Bill Chase says Sam. I found out Sam is technically French a little bit. Found that out. That's kind of crazy. Oh boy,
a little bit. A little bit is half my family.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Smidge and a half.
Yeah. Listen, half is a smidge. Half is a smidge. Real ones coming in. Gabriel. Rodeo, my ears are bleeding. Paul Amos, Larry Burton with the real ones. We appreciate it. Yeah, Rodeo is something for a guy who claims to be from the South. I don't know about that one. French South?
I know it's rodeo. To be fair, I am a little bit of a city boy. I'm from the South, but
fair. You're a city.
I'm probably a little bit more of a city boy. I'm allergic to horses, so that doesn't help.
You're allergic to horses?
Yeah. That's a tough one.
That's the French coming out. I am 62% Swedish, says Bill Chase. That's sweet. That's Swede. I'm cool. Time in the Buckeye saying real one. Man, shout out, y'all. This has been a good live stream. We've had almost 100 viewers. Can we get the highest one? What was the highest one we had? I think we got up to 123. 123, guys. That's pretty good. Man, I'm telling you, you keep sharing these live shows soon enough. Every Tuesday, we're going to have 200 people popping in here. 200 people. That's the goal. And I think the more we get into the season, the more shares we get, the more of y'all that we get out here on the Chiefs Port. Well, guess what? The numbers are going to go up. We appreciate all y'all watching for this Chiefs live show. That's going to do it. But I'll tell you, we got content coming out all week, so make sure you're subscribed and hitting that bell and making sure those notifications let you know whenever we post a video. For Sam, who is part French.
I want to real quick answer Dale Webb's question.
Hey, Jace, wondering if you read my question about Sky Moore. Where was it, man?
We weren't able to get it on the mailbag.
Is it to really consider Sky Moore a draft bust? No. I don't. This is just me. I didn't understand the pick at the time. Now I really don't understand the pick. He's not exactly the best receiver, and in terms of QBR, whenever Patrick throws to Sky Moore, his QBR is 52. Everybody else is above that. So, not good. I don't know if I can consider him a full bust just yet, but I'm pretty sure you could probably start to say that. That's it, though. We appreciate it. Have I ever had a pleader on Sweden? I don't think the Chiefs have had a Sweden player on the team. I don't think so. We appreciate you watching. For my half-French producer, Sam, I butchered that. For my half-French producer, Sam, I'm Jace signing out saying peace out here from Chiefs Kingdom.